Rodney, and from what you've seen, what your career has taught you, what are the differences between a senior level BA and maybe a junior level BA and an entry level BA? What are some of those that you've seen?
Well, I think, I've seen with kind of the mid to senior level BAs, they typically have a lot of industry experience. I guess there's some debate in the BA world that, if I apply the BA methodology, it doesn't matter what industry I work in, I could go from industry to industry. But I have found that, the more mid to senior level BAs, they do have a lot of industry experience, and that really helps in talking with people in the business. You understand their lingo, you understand their problems, their issues. So I think that's one thing. When you're kind of an entry level, more junior BA, you're still learning the industry. You may have, a lot of the business analysis tools down pat, but picking up that industry experience will help your career and advance you along in your career path.
I agree with you on that, Rodney. I mean, from a base perspective, right? We all have certain skills in common, no matter what industry we work in, and no matter how long we've been working, there's a certain skill set we should all have. But being able to apply those skills in particular ways, and then the more advanced level skills, like I would say, being able to, give presentations to people in the C-suite, negotiation, that kind of thing, I feel like that's kind of in the wheelhouse of a senior level BA. What you think, Tony?
Well, and you're right. I really, in just looking back in the years that I've been in business analysis, same amount of time as you all, and over time, I was able to pick up those skills. And at first, it was in the healthcare field. And then I left the healthcare field and dealt with telecommunications, and then back to the healthcare field, and then dipped into like more specifications and building the front end of a website, for a company, and then back to the health field. But the consistent thing is the health field. So, and what I've developed over that time is like the diversity in like writing requirements. Like I started off where it was high level in the beginning, and then after that started developing more functional requirements, and then non-functional. Then I started doing use cases, and then I started doing user stories and acceptance criteria, and then so forth. So I think like with the maturity of all of the formats, because you should be adaptable, in my opinion. If you're going to, let's say the customer asked you that we like this in this format, but you think another way is a better way. What will be what format should you use as a senior BA? What will be your next move if they ask you in a certain format but you thought something was better? Choose what they want, because this is their format.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they got the money, they're paid. You can make a suggestion, but use their format and run with it because it's been working for them. But and I'm glad.
I think that when you talk about formats that, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I was saying was, I think that when you talk about formats for particular organizations, groups, whatever, audiences, whatever, I think that that's important. I remember when I first started out being a BA, I was probably like a junior level BA. It used to annoy the crap out of me because I would build a document one way and then they would say, oh no, we won't understand it that way. I need a PowerPoint, or oh no, a PowerPoint won't work. I need this. Oh no, well that won't work. I need it this way. And I'd be like, it's the same information twisted up in 5 different ways. I don't understand how people who think that they're so smart cannot look at a chart, or they can't read a document, or they can't look at these bullet points. I do not understand that. But as you mature, right, and you gain your socio-emotional skills, That's my new word.
Soft skills, she meant to say.
No. Socio-emotional skills, okay? As you mature in using your socio-emotional skills, then you start to understand the reasons why you need to change format. And the simple reason is that you may have the answer that somebody is looking for. You may have the research, you may have the numbers, you may have whatever. But if they can't take it in, then what good does it do? Mm-hmm. So you have to put it in the format in which people can take it in. What you think, Rodney?
Yeah, I agree. You need to be flexible and adaptable to all types of situations and customer requirements. Some people, even within the talking about software development life cycles, some places you work at, they're going to be waterfall. Some places are going to be more agile. Maybe they're implementing Scrum, or maybe they're trying to do the scaled agile framework. So you have to be.
What about Scrum?
Scrummy waterfall. Yeah.
Go ahead, continue. I'm sorry. I had to get that in.
So
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Continue. I just had to say that though.
Yeah, and a lot of companies have a lot of different ideas about what Scrum, what Agile is. So even if it's not the textbook way to do things, you need to be flexible to do things their way, and it's definitely an evolution. You have to crawl before you can walk. You have to walk before you can run. And companies are in various stages, I think, of trying out agile processes, which I think work a lot of the times. It's not always successful. It takes a lot of commitment from people down in the trenches like us all the way to the executive level to really make it work.
Good. So I think that I totally agree with Rodney on that.